the religion of Islam. So I started studying it more and reading the Quran and asking questions, talking about it with my friends, and all of them were very inviting to answer questions and referring me to places where I could get better information. And after researching it, I found how deep it was, and I found that if everyone followed the way God has ordained us to live by the Quran, that it's really just the formula for a very peaceful world and a very truthful. It's the formula to develop a very truthful person. And I just saw a lot of beauty in that, and I saw that this was something that I always wanted to become, and Islam was the way to bring me there. So.
How do I view my life now that I became Muslim? I came to Rutgers via football scholarship. I was on the football team, but you know, everybody got those stereotypes about football players and women, and you know, always chasing women, party, drink, you know, things like that. But I was never into none of that stuff. So you know, I would say there isn't a big difference that I can sit back and like pinpoint. But I say the most important thing is my patience, my level of patience. You know, that was always a big problem for me, you know, growing up and everything, especially in the environment I grew up in Miami. You know, you always have to fight and defend yourself. There's no time to be patient because people are out to hurt you. And if you don't protect yourself, you'll get hurt. You know, so and patience, and you know, the having complete reliance on God and not anything in this world. Complete reliance on Allah. And like, you know, those are the two most important changes that I see in my life since I became Muslim.
How did my life become different since I became Muslim? My life has completely, 100% been changed. If you know anybody, if you were to ask anybody who knew me before I was Muslim and who knows me afterwards, would tell you that I did a complete 180 change in my personality. Before I was Muslim, I basically dropped out of college. I went to Rutgers, I dropped out of there. I ended up going to Middlesex, and I ended up dropping out of there. Once I became Muslim, within a year and a half, I graduated both Middlesex County College and Rutgers County College. Rutgers College. So my academics went up. It taught me discipline. It taught me to study. It taught me what is important and what's not. It taught me patience. Patience is very important in Islam. On top of that, Islam taught me how to treat people, how to show respect to people. It taught me that, you know, maybe I shouldn't do things to certain people because I would not like it to be done to me. So Islam taught me morals and standards that I never known before. Other religions also teaches morals and standards. However, there's not consequences if you don't follow them. In other religions, they might tell you, okay, you have to be like this. You have to turn the other cheek. But they don't tell you, is there a consequence if you don't? Islam is all about that you will be judged upon your actions based upon this life. So if you live a positive life, Lord willing, you will be rewarded for those positive actions. If you live a negative life, you'll be rewarded just as well, but not in a positive way. So with the thought of that you're going to be rewarded for your actions, people here, Muslims, try their very hardest to be the best people they can.
The question is, how do I view my life differently after becoming Muslim? This one is, that's actually a really good question. That's probably a question I'm not asked so much as a new convert, and I wish people would ask me more because it's probably one of the best parts of Islam. Before becoming Muslim, my goals in life, and these are still goals, but I guess just not as important to me. But my whole goal in life was I want to make a lot of money, I want to drive a nice car, I want a big house, and I just want to, I don't know, just keep I want to be successful, but success was defined as I want a bigger paycheck at the end of the month, which I think is a lot of people's goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. My goal today is still to be successful, and I would like to still earn money and have a good job, but the difference is that's not the whole reason why I'm on this planet. I now look at my life as I just want to become a better person. I want to serve my Creator. I want to serve God to the best of my ability. Um, and that's really just being a humble person, being an honest person, and attributing every good in your life to God. You know, being someone who appreciates all the things in their life and showing your appreciation through your actions, through your words, day in and day out. So now that's my objective. And the reason why that's so important is because now if for some reason, you know, I'm not making as much money, or if I'm not getting as many material goods or whatever the case is, it doesn't bother me. I mean, that stuff doesn't mean anything to me anymore. I don't need a fancy car. Because that's not going to get me closer to God. You know, I don't need a six-figure income. That's not going to get me closer to God. I don't need, you know, big screen TV and fancy clothes, because that's not going to get me anywhere closer to God. So I just focus my life now on the behaviors and actions that are going to get me closer to God and make me a better person and a more honest person. And that is a much better and a much more pure purpose of life. And that's the exact reason why He created us, was to get closer to Him and be a better person.
The major changes I see in my life since I became Muslim. Well, the first thing I would say is Islam humbled me down a little bit. You know, I was never an outgoing person or nothing like that. I stayed to myself. You know, I ain't mess with nobody. No one didn't mess with me. I was extremely racist. I was an extreme racist. You know, I couldn't stand white people. You know, but alhamdulillah, you know, since I became Muslim, you know, looking at the diversity. In fact, one of my best friends, or you know, two of my best friends, you know, brothers in Islam, Brother Shareef and Dawood, you know, by them being, at first when I first met them, by them being of European descent, I was a bit cautious, you know, because I was new in the deen and everything, and you know, that was my first time ever seeing white Muslims. I guess I was caught up in the 50s, you know, Nation of Islam, you know, when Elijah Muhammad told Malcolm that, you know, white people couldn't be Muslims. And, you know, I never followed the nation or anything like that. But alhamdulillah, you know, Islam, it was like a therapy. It was like therapy for me, you know, seeing the diversity in the different ethnic groups. It's only one race, but, you know, but seeing the different ethnic groups, you know, alhamdulillah. And, you know, drinking and smoking and stuff like that. Never did it. Never overdid it or anything like that. But, you know, just being in college, you like to try new things. And that was some of the things I tried. And, you know, alhamdulillah, don't do it anymore. So everything changed for the positive, mashallah. What I like most about being Muslim, back home in Miami, you know, if a joker don't know you, he don't want nothing to do with you. He won't shake your hand. You say what's up, he won't say nothing back. But, you know, being Muslim, people don't even know you. They don't know you day from night. First time ever seeing you, they come up to you like the old sheikh, like the old man. Alhamdulillah, and you know, wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. You know, these people don't even know you day from night. You know, that was the most amazing thing. But what I want to say is, what I like most about being Muslim is that I have a chance to avoid the hellfire and a better chance of getting into heaven, inshallah.
The question is, what do I like most about being a Muslim? And again, that's probably another question I wish people would ask me more, because there's so many great things about Islam that have helped my life. But probably the thing I like most is it's made me a very humble person. It's made me realize that I'm here for a purpose, and that everything I do is by the will of God. When you recognize that, a lot of things change in your life. It's very hard for you to become arrogant. It's very hard for you to be dishonest. It's very hard for you to be a bad person, because you know that all these great things have been chosen for you in your life, and you want to appreciate that. So in order to appreciate that, you're going to want to be an honest person. You're going to want to be a humble person. The other thing is, in Islam, we're taught that, you know, we're brought on this earth to be tested. So, and that God tests those who He he cares about. So anytime something bad happens